He lets me know that he was granted emergency custody. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about? He says that I missed court. And I was like, what? No, I didn't. I got a court date. And he's like, yes, you did. And I was like, no, I didn't. I did not get a court date. And he's like, oh, yeah, you did. My attorney said you called. And I was like, yeah, I got a motion, but there was no date attached to that. I go, I'm sure that I would have had to sign for that. When you serve somebody with an actual court date, typically you have to sign for it. I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the court tomorrow. Like, what? How did you actually have a hearing without me there? And how did a magistrate actually sign a court order for emergency custody without actually even talking to me? So I go down to the court the next day and they tell me this. And then they tell me when, that was the initial hearing. So it wasn't even the actual hearing or anything. Y'all, I ask her, like, when did this happen? Like, I get, like, the timing or something. When Nick, with his disgusting alleged attorney, sat in a courtroom in the Cuyahoga County court and was accusing me, without me there, accusing me of being an absent mother, of being a deadbeat mother, of having mental issues. Okay, all of these accusations, complete perjury, no evidence or facts. Okay, no evidence or facts to back up any claim that they made either. Completely false. No reality around it at all. This actually happened. While this was happening, I was at home taking care of William, who had COVID. The child in question, the mother in question, were together. Me taking care of my child that had COVID. It is no coincidence that happened. It is no coincidence. None whatsoever. This magistrate signed that order. Then, not only did the magistrate sign the order, it gets so much better. This is how corrupt and evil. Like, everybody in that courtroom specifically involved in any of this needs to be investigated. The magistrate that signed this order was the exact same magistrate that heard my testimony a year and a half before that, when I had to drain my 401k. That's when I started DoorDashing extra, just to be able to get through that first pointless custody situation. Got through all of that and was appointed residential parenting and shared parenting. Only because I even agreed to it. Nick had no grounds even for that case. That magistrate ordered me at that time to take a hair follicle drug test. I have never had any history of drug abuse, ever, in my entire life. No criminal anything, had the same job for 15 years. Like, there was no grounds to even order for me to take that drug test. That cost me $600. But naturally, my attorney, she's like, just take it, if you refuse to take it, it's gonna look some kind of way. And I was like, whatever. Like, at the time, again, I was just trying to get through all of it. So I took it. Naturally, because I don't have a problem with drugs, it came back clean. And again, everything that Nick was doing in an attempt to, like, drive some psychotic narrative that he had in his brain, every time it failed, it just grew his anger. And this court is getting behind him and supporting this, when this dude is the one who should actually probably be in a hospital somewhere. I wouldn't even want that for him. I don't even want that for him. I just want him to get help to see how truly insane his behavior is. That's it. And I want him to stop hurting our child. Magistrate who gave me residential parenting, there was no sign that I had ever violated any part of that court order. The only person who violated the court order was Nick, who never actually went to the therapy that judge ordered him to go to. That magistrate ordered him to 12 weeks of therapy. Never even asked Nick if he completed the court order, if he was ever in violation of the court order. Like nothing. Nothing. And of course, the family court will say, well, you should have filed a contempt. You should have filed a contempt. I'm sorry. I'm a single parent. I'm a single parent who just started a business and just moved. And I'm a victim of a crime. I'm a victim of identity theft. She goes, oh, no, there's no trial today. It's tomorrow. Y'all, I pull up the piece of paper. I look at it. I ask her the date. She tells me the date. She confirms. I was like, she goes, must have been a typo or something. These people are making decisions about children's lives. I'm like, okay. Better early than never. Like, Nick's actually only accurate go-to about me. Like, the only flaw Nick can ever actually have any, like, weight on is the fact that I am notoriously late. I really am. I mean, I'm working on it. It's much easier when you don't have an entire network of psychopaths trying to take you out to be on time. Yeah. When you have somebody continuously throwing black magic at you and intentionally trying to traumatize you so you take yourself out. Yeah. We go to this. This magistrate wants me to take a mental evaluation. Keep in mind, Nick had no actual evidence. None. Literally none. All he had, this entire situation was being based off the words of a complete psychopath who had money, because that's all it is. That's all they cared about was the money. That's it. Nick knew what the situation was arranged for me, and he executed it when he knew that he had already blocked my finances, that he was a part of it. I'm sorry, it's way too obvious. Just because the weirdos who are getting bribed and paid to not notice want to pretend to not notice. But, you know, people who are actually got it all together up there, it's very, very obvious. Something else you can charge me for? No problem. Then Nick actually orders the guardian ad litem, who happens to be the same guardian ad litem as a year and a half ago, when Nick filed for custody. The same one who's already met with my son. So now we have all the same players. That seemed unusual. Especially because that second guardian ad litem should have never even been a part of the first case. If I didn't have a home, if I was an absent mother, whatever it was else that they were claiming, is like, again, when there's no facts, no truth, nothing. It was like there was no point in me even participating because they already had the agenda. And that just became very obvious to me. I am pretty much understanding at this point that this might not even be like a completely legal case. Like, this is something that, like, their little secret society government, like, who's ever a part of their, like, little cult network here that takes people out, like, participates in sacrificing people and commits hate crimes and stuff. I am fairly certain that this is like their like moonlighting job. Like, I don't even think this was like a documented, which made sense because it started to become very clear to me, you know, with the empty courtroom and the dates being off and stuff. It was like not everybody was in the know. And then when you have the exact same players involved, even my daughter, when she came down to the pretrial with me, that was like, and plus my mom showed up to that, y'all. My mom showed up. And I was like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I came to support. I was like, what? You came to support me? Are you kidding me? Like, this is happening because of you. Like, what? You came to support me? I go, oh, so are you going to admit that you've lied about things? I was like, no, for real. What do you plan on saying? Like, what is your actual point for being? well, I'm just going to leave then if you don't want my support. Literally, this is my 80-year-old mother, y'all. Then she leaves.